Welcome to Sex Positive Gaming. I'm Annie, and today we're going to look at the completed episodic visual novel, Cure My Addiction. This harem and power exchange themed game is available for PC and Mac for free on their Patreon. Cure My Addiction is the story of a young man who is suffering from depression and a crippling porn addiction. Sort of like a dystopic modern-day everyman. Over the course of the 5 standalone chapters, you are exposed to wealth and power, and slowly take control of your own life, as well as the lives of all those around you. In the beginning, you have very little power and are always at risk of being physically disciplined and punished, putting you in a much more submissive position. As the game progresses, you become more and more dominant, and the power creep actually feels very similar to that of a fantasy RPG. You start weak and then slowly grow into your power. Graphically, this game is really decent, and like most Patreon projects, it does improve as you play into the game. The renders are great and there are animations, but the only sound in the game is from the various types of spankings that can occur. Flavor-wise, this is a mostly male heterosexual harem experience with BDSM, power exchange, corruption, humiliation, group, lesbian, toys, and voyeurism. There are 3 different endings based on who you choose to marry in Chapter 5, and while this is a harem game, you don't have the option of a true harem ending. I don't normally mention stuff that happens later in games, but a lot of people have told me that they really hate not having the option of a harem ending in their harem games. Oh yeah, spoilers. This game is actually really low stress. Early on you are trying to avoid punishment, but none of your actions will impact the game. You can't miss scenes, and there is quite a lot of content to experience. It is really interesting seeing the main character take more and more control over the 5 chapters, but some of the transitions between chapters could be smoother. It is a little jarring how some things change quickly. Is the story ridiculous? No more than any other type of power fantasy. And this is absolutely a power fantasy game. It's like the developer, the Gary, made a list of everything that a person could possibly want out of life, and that is basically where you end up in Chapter 5. It also just happens to be everything from the parody rap song I'm on a Boat by Lonely Island. I'll put a link to that video as well, and you can tell me if you see a similarity. So if you're looking for a BDSM themed harem adventure where you start submissive and gradually become more and more dominant, I highly recommend Cure My Addiction. It's not perfect, but you're still going to have a fun experience. If you have played, let me know what you think. I really feel that solid, completed free games like these absolutely make our industry better and more enjoyable. Until next time, no shaming, just gaming. Thanks to all this month's supporters on Patreon. I wouldn't have been able to do this without you.